Coach, first of all, congratulations and welcome to Detroit.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. I told Rod and Sheila I'm going to have to contain myself today.
Absolutely. Well, we are excited to have you, excited to sit down with you and get to know you a little bit. I know you've been on a whirlwind of a tour the last couple of weeks in a unique situation because you're working for a playoff team. The Lions were working on hiring a general manager at the same time. So walk me through what that process was like for you, hearing from the Lions and interviewing and ultimately getting the job.
Well, listen, it's not easy. I can tell you this. First of all, you're excited on two ends because you're getting ready for the playoffs, but you're also, this opportunity has arose. And so you're torn a little bit. There's this excitement, and you want to prepare to interview for that team, in this case Detroit, and have a feel of the roster and what they're looking at and some of the answers you might have for that program. But at the same time, you're all in with your club now too. So you're trying to push forward to get a playoff win and just try to stack them together. So there's a little bit of split emotion, but look, I said from the get-go, this was one that I always ID'd. Like, if this one ever came available, if I could just sit in front of Sheila and Rod, man, I would do everything I could. I told my agent that, and because this is a special place to me, it is.
Why was that? Why was this one the one that had circled?
I think because of the people and the city. I think there's a lot of similarities between this place and New Orleans. I think that New Orleans has gotten a bad rap at times. I think New Orleans is thought of as just Bourbon Street and the Katrina ordeal, and they hit some hard times, and I've seen what a champion has done to lift that city into what it is, because it is about the people ultimately. And my time here, my wife, my kids, we loved it here. It was the people. I'll be the first to say, when I was a free agent as a player, I wasn't the most excited about getting up here because I didn't know. I was excited about coming to play and the team and everything, but once we got here, I couldn't believe that I even thought that. And it was one of the best places we'd ever lived because of the people. And I love the fact that Detroit is blue collar, and it's been hit, and it knows how to hit back, and that's what we want to instill in our guys.
When you did sit down with Sheila and Rod, what were your impressions of them and what they want to instill here in Detroit?
Well, look, I've said this over and over, and I'm going to continue to say it. Sheila, look, she was my first. Like, I was sold quickly with Sheila, and I know the Zoom started this thing, but there is she is genuine, she is heartfelt, she's smart, she has vision, and you can tell she wants a winner. She wants to win in a bad way, but she wants to do it the right way, and that's what really those things sold me. And Rod was unbelievable, all right? And even to this point here, Rod's just been, whatever you need. It's your decision, whatever you need, I'm here. And but it was a unique opportunity. As a matter of fact, I'll just say this. Rod was hard to read, okay, if you just want me to be honest. Rod was hard to read, but man, it felt right. It felt like the right fit. It's one of those things, you hope for the right fit when you go into the interview, and I felt like it didn't take long to know this is where I belong.
Well, let's talk about your style on the field. You've been talked about as being under the Bill Parcells coaching tree. Tell us about what your philosophy is when it comes to the X's and O's.
Well, I don't even know football. I don't know. No, that's a joke. So listen, Bill influenced me very much. I played for him. I was always intrigued with Bill growing up, watching his New York Giant football teams. I was enamored by the way they played, the style that they played with. And so, he was always somebody that I felt like I was influenced by, no different than R.C. Slocum at A&M. And during that time, you got to remember, the game has changed so much since then, but it was all about defense, running the football, time of possession. You don't beat yourself. The quarterback just makes smart decisions. We don't need you to win it with your arm. Those were the core foundations that I was built on, but that doesn't make me who I am. I've been with Sean Payton for the last 5 years, and you're not going to find a more aggressive coach than Sean Payton. So there's things that you learn as it pertains to, how you want to play the game. And so as far as X's and O's, here's what I tell you is, I'm more about let's do what's best for the players that we have and the players that we can add, and then let's build around those. I don't want to come in with a system and say, this is our system and you're running our system, and maybe the ball comes to you, maybe it doesn't. No. We're going to put our best guys in the best position to have success against their worst guys. That's how you maximize what you're able to do, X and O. And no different on defense. If you tell me that that one of our best blitzers is our corner, we're going to run a bunch of corner cats. We just will. And I believe in those things. So this is a player-driven league, and you got to ask players to do things they do well.
Well, another aspect of your style that has been talked about a lot leading up to this hire is your ability to lead. That's been an emphasis for Rod and Sheila throughout this process. So how do you go about galvanizing a group of men?
Look, here's what I would say is that all my life, I've always had this when I felt there was times to, I never just said, hey, you got to jump in the front and lead. I've never been that way. It's always been these things that bubble in the back of like I can feel it on the back of my neck. I can feel it bubbling in my gut. Like you need to say something. And I don't. And so it's this, I'm just not a spontaneous speaker as to, I'm going to go up there and make a rah-rah speech. That's not me. Like, that's hard for me to do. But if I believe something in my heart and it's time to come out, it comes out. And I think that's grown over time. But so my point with that is I feel like I can't fake things. I am who I am. I'm genuine. And if you want to get the most out of people, you want to be a genuine leader, you got to get to know the man.
Well, you had experience leading an entire team when you took over as the interim head coach in Miami. How did that experience help influence and shape your philosophy stepping in as a head coach for a football team?
Look, I took the lumps of a season. I took the lumps of what a first-time head coach going through a season would go through. I've been through that. Those are gone. For example, I brought this up. Listen, I felt like I single-handedly cost us a game. I didn't use a timeout right before halftime playing Buffalo in 2015. I kick myself to this day for it. It was awful. It was just, and it was dumb. And you learn those things, and those are the ones that honestly I still think about. I'll wake up every once in a while and be like, what the heck were you doing? Because those guys are playing their hearts out, and you don't want to be the one to not give them every opportunity to win the game. It's hard enough when you're out there playing and you're going against the elite play after play, and you're trying to win your one-on-ones, and then a coach, messes something up. Not that we're perfect, but something else you learn is just dealing with personnel. Dennis Hickey was out there with me. He was our GM, and I remember we were talking about bringing in a player, and there was a player that I didn't feel like fit, but I kind of went against what I believed to bring in a player that didn't fit the makeup. And I remember Dennis Hickey, the GM, walks in and says, "Dan, what are you doing? This is not your guy. Don't do it." Like begging with me, and we did it, and he was right, man. He was right, and it was like, don't. So you learn these lessons, right?
Sure.
They validate who you are and what you believe, and so, man, those things have served me well.
You talked about your playing days here in Detroit. You're here from 2006 to 2008. How badly do you identify with how much this city wants to win?
I feel like, look, I didn't grow up here, but I just feel like that's one of the advantages I have of knowing this place because I was here, and there again, I know the people and I know the places, and we lived right off of Woodward up in Birmingham, and I know this. We turn this thing around. This city is going to be rocking, and you won't find a better city. We did it in New Orleans, and that city. To this day, we arrive on the plane, and there's fans everywhere waiting for us we're getting off the plane, win or loss. And I'm not saying I expect that here, but what I am saying is I know these fans have been kicked, they've been beaten, they've been bruised, and they've found a way to get up, and it's our job to give them some hope. And that's what I want to do. Like, to me, this is more than just we want to go win in the Lions. We want to win games. Of course we do. And the byproduct will be other things. But, man, let's get a city back on its feet with hope. And, man, I want the Lions to be one of the biggest reasons for that. I want guys to wake up on Sunday ready to go. They got their jerseys going Monday, man. Everybody's having a good time. We got a big win against Chicago, and it just energizes the city. And I think that's part of my job too. I really do.